What it is, man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx from the Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow from Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Oh, nice man in boxing. Nice man in boxing. Where's the Flair Cops? Shout out to Goodfellow Sports TV.
Hey, Steven, man, you really believe that stuff? Oh, man, come on. You really believe that stuff you be saying?
All right, man. The Barbershop interview with, I'll go ahead and say a Barbershop conversation interview with Leon Muhammad. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Go watch that interview. I keep getting tea leaves from that interview, okay? This is from Leon Muhammad on Fred channel. Okay, Fred dropped some Jews too, okay? And so he talks about how Al Haymon got to Harvard. And he also talks about how this is all alleged, according to him, not saying this is true. And he talks about why Floyd Mayweather is still doing exhibitions, okay? And you go over to Fred channel, he got the interview with Leon Muhammad. It's all what in there. And my sources said that this was orchestrated. Allegedly, they orchestrated this interview, and he knew exactly what he was going to say. Allegedly, and obviously, we know Fred from Barbershop Conversation has a issue with PBC. Now, me personally, I don't have an issue with PBC. My only issue with PBC is that they're not giving us the fights that we want. That's my issue with them. Other than that, I don't go out my way to dig up information on them, okay? But I'm going to report it when it becomes available, or when it's a rumor out there. I just call this a rumor. And everything I say is alleged and based on what Leon Muhammad said in the interview, okay? Now, he talked about, if I have permission from Fred to show these videos, I would. He talked about Don King a couple times in both these stories. He said that Don King actually paid Al Haymon way to Harvard. Okay, he said that Don King gave a donation to Al Haymon's mother's church, and he kind of said some other stuff like he think it was his brother church, whatever it is. But he basically said Don King financed Al Haymon to Harvard by giving a donation to the church. Now, I don't know how true that is. That is alleged. You know, so that's what he said. You know, and he said, you know, Muhammad blasts Al Haymon, says the only way he got to Harvard was because of Don King was giving money to his mama's church. So, you know, that's what he said. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, Don King is depicted as this crook. But apparently, according to him, and, you know, according to Leon Muhammad, he financed, you know, Al Haymon way to Harvard. And then he went on and talked about how Al Haymon couldn't get his brother Bobby Haymon, who was a boxer, a title shot. But how much power did Al Haymon have back in the day to get his brother a title shot? He fought Sugar Ray Leonard years ago. So how much of a player was he? Now he making it seem that he implied that, you know, Leon Muhammad implied that Al Haymon had the and I said all this is alleged, and he based off what Leon Muhammad said. He basically saying that, you know, he made it seem like Al Haymon had the ability to give his brother Bobby Haymon a title shot, and he didn't. And he retired out the game in 78 when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard. But, you know, so he says Bobby Haymon is his boy. So, like I said before, I don't know how much clout he had in 78 and 72. And, you know, I don't know how much clout he had. You know, but apparently, and Leon Muhammad is implying that he had the clout to do it, or he could have did it. Okay, who knows how true and how false that is. Okay, he said he could get his own brother a title shot. All right, so like I said before, you know, that's between him and that's between him and That's between him and them. That's between him and his brother. I don't know how true that was. Okay. But he also went on too on an interview, and this kind of little tidbit right here. He said him and the Charlos had an issue. He said him and the Charlos had an issue, and he was about to go. Or I just put it to you this way: he was about to go chop some shit up until Zab Judah stopped him. So he talked about, I don't know exactly. I couldn't really understood what he said as far as what happened with the Charlos, but apparently Jamel did something to him, and he was in New York City, and Leon Muhammad, I believe he with the nation. He said he was about to make some phone calls. He about to go to his car and tear something up. He said the Charlos disrespected him or something like that. So maybe it was a misunderstanding, but he spoke on his altercation with the Charlo twin. I think they said it was Jamel who really caused it. So, Danny Jacobs is the only one, not the only one who had an issue with them in New York City. Now, he didn't elaborate on the time period this was, but, obviously it's three sides to the story. It's the truth, it's the Charlo side, and it's Leon Muhammad's side. Leon Muhammad said that he's about to make a phone call and go to his truck, and there was going to be no more, he implied. Okay? So, like I said, the interview was the gift that kept on giving. Now, he talked about, this is the juicy stuff right here. He spoke on that, Don King and Floyd Mayweather had a meeting. I wish I could show this video. And he said that Don King basically warned Floyd Mayweather, and all this is allegedly and reportedly based on what Leon Muhammad said, not saying it's true. He said he warned Floyd Mayweather to own all your fighters and make sure you had ownership. And basically, Leon Muhammad said Al Haymon fleeced him. He said the reason why Floyd Mayweather is still doing exhibitions is because that Al Haymon, now I'm going to read this how it was sent to me. Now, not saying it's true. This is being alleged and this is applied, okay? He says, breaking news for you. The reason Mayweather has to keep fighting is because Al Haymon allegedly, rumored, so I'm saying, reinvested all his money from the Pacquiao-McGregor-Logan Paul fight back into PBC. So Fred been alluding to this, and Fred was the one who brought the story up. Fred said that, I know some things, and obviously Fred was close with Sam, so he might know something at one point. But Leon Muhammad backed the story up about him sitting there with Don King. It was something about $500,000. I don't know who gave $500,000, and Don King told Floyd Mayweather to get ownership of the fighters. And apparently Floyd Mayweather didn't have ownership of the fighters, and he got fleeced. And that's what they said on Fred's show. Leon Muhammad came out and said that Al Haymon fleeced him, and that he allegedly took all the money back and reinvested. Now, we heard AB say something like this. Adrian Broner, he said that he had a video up that said you probably could find if you look hard enough a while ago after the Pacquiao fight that Floyd Mayweather, that Al Haymon still was holding on to, was still holding on to his purse. He said, Al still holding on to my Pacquiao purse. And, paraphrase, he said, it's my money. I should be able to spend it, whoopty blam. So apparently they saying that, I don't know how Floyd feel about this and the return, but they said he reinvested all his money from McGregor, Pacquiao, and Logan Paul back into PA, or so, let's say something, I don't know. They said reinvest, they say all this money. So allegedly it was all this money back in the PBC. And basically they say he don't have no ownership over the fighters. Sound like Al do. And maybe 50 Cent was on to something, because Fight had an article about why him and 50 fell out back in the day on their website. Basically 50 wanted to count Al Haymon out, and maybe 50 was on to something. But one thing about that, what 50 wanted, he wanted Floyd to travel around the country again. I think Floyd got a handshake agreement. Had a handshake agreement with Vegas as far as him staying there and producing when he became an attraction. And then Leon Muhammad and Fred, they broke that Errol Spence had a tax issue. And somebody, from behind the scenes, for me, they confirmed that. You know what I'm saying? They confirmed it. Now, I don't know if it's true. That's all alleged too. I didn't break none of this. I'm just reporting that's already out there. People, you hate PBC? No. Fred orchestrated this interview with Leon Muhammad, and he spilled the beans. Either they true or false, or somewhere in between. I don't know. So that, for people saying Floyd a smart businessman, this man reinvested his money. Maybe it'll bring a larger return. Maybe it bring a larger return. But they say, I was watching the Bob Ross documentary on Netflix that came out like last year, and he would just do what the people said to do that owned his rights to his name. He never learned the business. And after he died, the uncle sold his rights to his name, and his son got nothing. And his son used to be on the show Peyton with him. And his son got nothing because his uncle sold the name for some money. Not knowing his uncle could have made 100 times that, and they still selling stuff. I was in the store another day. Like, I don't know where I was at. CV, I think it was Myers, and they had Bob Ross stuff in there. Whoever I was at. His uncle got finessed into fast money when it could have been long and hard and fast money in the long run. So you always supposed to understand how the business work and learn. James Brown and Ray Charles, James Brown didn't have nothing but like a middle school education, but he learned the business. And like Kobe 2K fan said when he come on, he said he read the 50 Cent book where he talked about all of this, and he said that he would go to the meeting and Floyd would act like he knew what was going on in the business meeting, and they would get to the car and Floyd would ask him, what they was talking about. Hold on one second. So like I said before, man, that Bob Ross, you always supposed to learn. And at the end, when you get fleeced, to take money out of your mouth and take money out of your loved one's mouth and out of your loved one pocket. And what it sound like, he getting fleeced. And that's why 50 sounded like he was trying to cut out Al Haymon and keep the money for themselves. And Floyd didn't want to cut out Al. But if what Leon Muhammad is saying is true, that Al Haymon is taking his money and reinvesting it, and that's what AB sounded like he was saying allegedly. He didn't see his money. It's a dirty game, and they got a non-disclosure agreement where they can't speak against him. And all your finances is tied up into Al Haymon. You can't disrespect him because he can make him go left real bad. So like I said before, everything, it's a reason why they allegedly said it's a non-disclosure agreement. It's the reason why Bob and Oscar went from him. It's just not jealousy. Now it's coming out, he paid these dudes once a month. He was, he helped them retire and stuff, this, that, and the third. And Leslie Earl got tax issues. Why is this still happening if he's such a great businessman? Or maybe it's a method to his madness. Maybe it's lies. Who knows? Who knows? But do Floyd know what's going on? I remember Floyd was doing the 24/7 about a house or doing something. He said, I got to wait till Al give me the green light if my memory serves me correctly. And I heard that they wanted him to come back and fight to say the company. They wanted him to do Pacquiao too, to come back and say the company. He was willing to do an exhibition, but he wasn't really willing to do a fight. And I said that a couple of years ago. It's rumors about people at PBC losing businesses and gyms and restaurants, and I won't say nobody's name because he seemed like an okay fella. So like I said before, they don't have enough fight dates, and Al gonna probably make it happen. He's a smart, savage businessman, but Floyd ain't no businessman, it sounds like. And Don King, with whoever the $500,000 was going to, I know Don King said Floyd owed him some money. Don't know how true that was. He said, make sure you own these fires. And apparently he don't have no ownership. He doesn't have any ownership, according to this story, if it's true, allegedly. He doesn't have any ownership. It ain't no such thing as a good business. Ain't no thing as a good business, God, fearing, Christian, sanctified, whatever you believe in, businessmen. All successful businessmen have to get their hands dirty. And they said he and that McGregor fight made some money. They said Muhammad said Pacquiao, McGregor, and Logan Paul. So Floyd didn't make no money off of Logan Paul. So Logan Paul didn't get paid. It makes sense now. Floyd didn't get paid, allegedly. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? The social media era, you can't hide this. Somebody always gonna want to gun another black man down. If it's another black man, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, I'll tell you this for a fact. Bro. It's always somebody out there that want to tear you down. And it's always somebody out there that's going to leak the honest truth about you. And they know they can't say it publicly, so they use guys like me. Not saying I'm the plug every time, but I was in Vegas. I heard a lot about situations like this. I just use it as hearsay, she say. You know, he say, she say, here and there. But like I said before, these people leak stuff out about Al. These fighters, I'm not saying no fighters, the name in particular, they leak stuff out there because they crying for help. They not happy, and apparently they can't speak against them. Bob Brown don't care two ways and one. He use it as good promo. Like Valda sat there and lied about he wanted to secure seats. So Bob said, well, that's not what he told me. You know what I'm saying? So it's starting to make sense. So Logan said, I ain't get paid. Floyd didn't get paid. No, maybe he reinvested. Let's say the total, they say he made 65 versus Logan Paul. Let's say he made 3 versus McGregor. Let's say what's the other fight they said it was? Let's say he made another 3 versus Pacquiao. Let's say 6. Let's run it. Let's say he made $7 million. Maybe I'll say I reinvested and I turn it into $1.5 billion. But obviously, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, and then Floyd. Remember, Floyd went over to Japan to fight my man's, and they was rumors. I don't know how true it was that, you know, he has to deal out with his own people, and he left Al out of there. You know what I'm saying? Now he going to Dubai to fight the richest 19-year-old teen Dubai, Money Kicks. I've been watching this channel. I was watching Ride That Roller Coaster, which they couldn't show. Good channel. I see why people vlog lifestyle, but you gotta live yours. So now it's kind of making sense if this is true. Why he going to Japan and Dubai and hashing out, if it's true, he hashing out these deals on his own. Because he have to. Because he has to. In order to put money in his pocket, so Al won't take the money and say he reinvesting it. Now, if he could turn 7 into $2 billion or to $1.5 billion or double it, $1.4 billion, hey, you know, if Floyd's got capital, he's sitting on money, he's sitting on enough money himself, hey, he trusts Al to flip the money out, and Al been good for it in the past. Hey, go do it. I'm not trying to tell Floyd what to do and what not to do. That's not my skilo. Care nothing about Floyd money. I'm just reporting what was being said. Now they got a problem. Hit me up. You know, hit Fred up. Fred and Leon Muhammad is the one who always revealing stuff about this. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying what Leon Muhammad reported and alleged. Okay, just reporting what was said. Okay, but it's starting to make sense. It's starting to make sense. Why he going out here and doing these exhibitions on his own without Al Haymon hashing it out? You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, man, 50 said in this book, Kobe said that he wasn't a smart businessman. I remember he said, he's waiting to build a house. He's waiting on Al Haymon. I said, damn, waiting on Al Haymon. Now, I don't know if Al Haymon got power of attorney, nothing like that. Hey, that's on them. That's on them. But apparently, we know Conor McGregor, it looks on the outside looking in, that Conor McGregor has a very, I heard his whiskey is pretty good. Got to try it one day. Has a very fruitful whiskey business. But now you kind of remember the story about him going over to Japan. It was rumored that he hashed his own deal out in Japan. Now it's starting to make sense. Now it's starting to make sense. Now it's starting. Now you kind of could put 2 and 2 together. And to me, that's crazy. To me, that's crazy. If this is true, this is crazy. But that's why he probably hashing out his own deals. That's why he probably hashing out his own deals so he can keep the money in his pocket. Now it kind of starting to make sense. You know, and he must be cool with him reinvest because you got money. You know, if it go right, you got money that's gonna probably at least double. If you tell me you could take my 7, whatever I made between the 3 fights and make it into a billion and some change, why not? Especially if I got enough capital to survive and live comfortably. You know, cool. You know, that's on them though. That's on him. It's a risk. It is a risk. But like I said before, this is going to be, you know, if people start to listen to this type of stuff, this is going to be, it's kind of making sense on why. This is kind of making sense on why they saying that he going over there and hashing out his own deals without Al Haymon. This is starting to make sense. It's starting to make sense. But hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, all my social media subscription. Want to reach out, got a business, got an issue, got an inquiry, whatever it might be. Twitter's the fast way, Facebook and Instagram, all that's in the description. Want to make a financial donation, Cash App, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Okay, Cash App, $, CJ Good 313 be clear. That's going to the bottom screen. Venmo, CJ Good 313. Appreciate the donations. Go hit me up on Venmo some more too, man. PayPal, appreciate that. But I know Cash App the most convenient way. Best way to donate. Thumbs up the video, comment, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop a video. Let me know in the comment section. Peace.